There will be revenge, but it will be different from yours. It won't involve blood or murder or deception. It won't turn sophisticated people to rubble, then call them underdeveloped, primitive and backwards. It won't need military budgets, fear, prejudice or gender oppression. It will be simple, uncomfortable and absolute. It will present itself calmly. There will be no screams. There will be no protests. Just this. You are the owner of all energy needed to destroy or create worlds. Within you lies the peace of Akhenaten, the vision of Imhotep. We can go further, the first Messiah. You are the writer of knowledge, the keeper of truth. It's looking at you through the stones, in the history of the mountains and the DNA of the earth. You're there. This wicked narrative is new. It's evil and unwell. 1,000 years ago, you were teaching them. They were lost, barbaric, never knowing the evolution of language, of culture, the influence you had, you still have, you must have, because you're far from dead. Listen to the speakers, the knowers, the ones who told you to open pages and find yourself there. Reinvent the past. Pay the oppressor little mind. Little mind fears genius because it knows your story. It knows about the old kingdoms and the middle periods, from Moorish Spain to Muslim medicine. It knows about African mathematicians and the stone calendar circles of Nabta Playa. It knows. That's why it denies. That's why it tells you to kill yourself. Death has many faces. If something is made ill, why swallow it? Don't accept it. Renounce it and go back to before the chattel, the division and genocide, before the white Jesus, before the crusades and the foreign religions that came with priests and swords. Discover the hidden world, because history is self-serving, self-fulfilling. Look in the armies, look in the prisons, look in the places filled with the broken, the destitute, the trampled on, the us but not them. Look and see what happens when you become apathetic, when revenge is just for radicals, when you believe the story they tell you, when your only weapon is a gun, when your knowledge is obsolete, when your woman is a bitch, when your brother is a threat and your oppressor is your master, your standard, your ideal. Don't ask for mercy, it won't be given. Lock it off, leave it there, it's dead, it's done. The damage consecrated, the sickness, it doesn't work. So start again with just this. When they ask you for a beginning, teach them about the Grimaldi, about Menes and the First Dynasty. When they ask you about women, speak to them of Isis, of Hatshepsut and Cleopatra. When they ask you about languages, refer them to Coptic and Western Semitic tongues. Explain how 50% of the Greek lexicon is comprised of a non-Indo-European language. Give examples. When they ridicule you for saying in it, claiming the word as being Jamaican patois, let them know that it's a contraction of isn't it, which is a contraction of is it not, which is English, not patois, is it not. When they ask you about war and peace, inform them that the word war comes from the Old English weir, meaning to bring into confusion. Mention the golden age of Egypt. Communicate the fact that civilizations which have experienced the greatest periods of peace have been matriarchal. Say that twice. Include the fact that 70% of Native Americans did not ever wage war with each other. Refer them to conquest, sexual violence, and American Indian genocide by Andrea Smith. Keep close to mind the Haitian Revolution, to Saint Liverture and Dessalines. If they interject calling you Afrocentric or a conspiracy theorist, reply with these names: Volney, Gerald Massey, Martin Bunau, Bouval and Brophy. Continue. Discuss human nature, how we remain products of our environment, how we mirror what we see, how certain genes are activated or deactivated in our childhood, determining who will become later. Explain what you mean by white supremacy as a political tool to divide and undermine those who don't fit the aesthetic. Discuss Thomas Spence and the making of the English working class. Look at degenerate families in the US and Anthony Stokes. Speak of Palestine with courage. Declare that before the 15th of May 1948, Zionists had already expelled 250,000 Palestinians. Emphasize that people are not born bad, that before capitalism and feudalism, communalism was how we lived, not primitive but equal. Do not negate your woman. There is more to feminism than her physical appearance. You may wish to talk about Simone de Beauvoir, bell hooks and Angela Davis, and then poetry. The spoken word that predates the written word, oral tradition, art and storytelling. Speak until the sun has risen and set 1,000 times. Wear the crown that doesn't need a stolen jewel to shine. Assure them that you are made from love, that you speak from love, because that is from where you were born. Play them a song, read them a haiku, teach them how to dance. Many will laugh at you, many will brand you insane. Yet when has madness ever really mattered here? Some will listen, some will stay, and you will grow into friends, into solidarity, into the forever we dream about. So treasure your woman, treasure your man, because we're all we have. Peace is the master's revenge. So stand in the present, draw for the future, and shoot with all the ammunition of the past.